In this video, I'm going to be testing out Google's new Gemini 2.5 Pro experimental LLM. I'm going to be trying out 3 different prompts for 3 different scenarios. If you'd like to try these prompts out on your own, I'll leave a link in the description. Depending on whatever you put into the prompt and depending on your niche will be the outcome. And also depending on if you follow up with the prompts, you can also get some better output and some better information. So with that, let's get started. So here I am at Google Gemini, and this is their new 2.5 Pro experimental. And I'm going to do some test prompts in this video. So the first one is going to be a prompt about generating a travel itinerary. And I chose the Philippines as a destination. I put use the following information when coming up with a plan. Also suggest alternate activities based on my chosen preferences. So what I did was I put in these preferences for accommodations, food, activity types, and then I put the budget, and then I put the total time is 7 days. So I'm gonna send this off and we'll be back to see what Google Gemini gives us. As you can see here, it actually did a pretty good job. So what ended up happening was at the end of this, it actually gives you the choice to put it into like a document. So I clicked try it now, and it actually opened up this page on the right, and it gave me this whole document here. And you could export it as a Google Doc if you want. But this is the actual itinerary right here. So it gave me, since I put the $2,000 limit, excluding, the actual flight. This is actually all pretty accurate here. I mean, I've seen a lot of YouTubers that go there, and this place in Bohol, you can actually go see these little primates called tarsiers. And then as you can see here, you can actually highlight this and you can click Ask Gemini and it'll tell you what these are. So it's giving you like regional focus, and it actually gives you why. Offers diverse experiences, marine life and waterfalls, Cebu, unique landscapes like the Chocolate Hills, wildlife encounters with tarsiers, and beautiful beaches, Bohol. Easy ferry connection between the islands. So, and then it gives you the accommodation, and it's saying, here's the itinerary day one. It gives you, morning, afternoon, late afternoon, evening. Gives you day two, and as you can see, it goes through the whole entire 7 days. So with this type of prompt that I came up with, you can actually ask pretty much any of these tools for an itinerary, and it can write you an itinerary. And then you can edit it or just use it as a starting point if you want, or you can actually go and use it, you know, actually use the itinerary that it gives you. But it's all going to be different based on your actual destination, also your budget and also the preferences of what you'd like to do. So like right here, when I put mine in, I actually put, these are the preferences I like. So I wanted certain types of food, also the activities, outdoor vehicle type tours, animal exhibits, so you could change all of this and, it's going to give you a different answer based on what you want. So next I'm going to move on to the second type of prompt that I'm going to try with Google Gemini, and it's going to be has to do with a nutrition plan. Real quick before I do this second prompt, you can see here this is their new one, their new experimental LLM, and you can see here these are some of the gems. These are already like pre-done, pre-made, so you could go in and you could try, the coding or some different things here. But I'm gonna paste in this prompt, and it says generate a 7-day meal plan for me based on the following information. I put in preferred cuisine types, recipe types, simple in 30 minutes or less, preparation time, nutritional goals, weight management, and then caloric intake, 1,000 calories daily. So I will send this off and we will see what Gemini gives us. So just to show you what I meant when I talked earlier about the document, so you can see it gave me a pretty good answer here. I'm going to click try now. And then what it's going to do is it's going to start generating an actual document of the same answer that it gave me. and it's actually doing pretty well. Very low calorie, 1,000 calories per day is a very low intake. It is strongly recommended to consult with a doctor. It's even trying to tell you, be careful with what you're doing with your diet. So it even gives you all these tips: weight management, flexibility, hydration, preparation, estimates. And you can see it's giving you the different, like Mexican focus, Italian focus, because I put originally here in the prompt, I put that the cuisine should be Mexican food, Chinese food, and Italian food. So it's actually giving me, different foods for each of the different types. So then there's the Chinese one, then it says another one for Italian, another one for Mexican. This actually puts snacks in there. You could actually tell it to exclude this if you want. It's totally up to you, depends. Um, anybody could use this type of prompt, again, depending on what your meal plan is, your preferences, what you're trying to do, if you're trying to lose weight, trying to not lose weight. Um, you could also make it a 5-day meal plan. You could also probably do a 30-day or even a 2-week meal plan. And then also you could adjust the calories depending on what you want to do, even, you know, if you're actually into the whole the health niche, depending on what you do. You could also use this, could be something for some kind of content creation also. Someone that has like a YouTube channel that's health focused, same kind of thing. So the next prompt I'm going to do will be um, something that you will just have to give me a second here and you will see what I am going to do. Here is the third prompt that I'm going to be trying out with the new Gemini 2.5 Pro. This is a prompt for a 30-day sustainable living plan, and it's going to focus on reducing household waste, lowering your carbon footprint, and reducing electricity and water usage. So the instructions I gave it are: the plan should include a weekly breakdown of actionable steps, measurement tools to track progress, cost saving estimates where applicable, and resources for sustainable product alternatives. And I'm going to go ahead and send this one off, and I will be back to show you the results from Google Gemini. So here is the answer that it's given me. It's got my area since I live around the area of Tampa, Florida. It's given me the suggestions based on the climate here. This starts out with giving me the tools for tracking. I can do a waste audit sheet. I can do a carbon footprint calculator. I can do a utility bill tracker and a cost savings log. So there's all kinds of different things you can do with this. Um, you can also, it right here gives you the weekly breakdown. And what I was going to say too was, if you're into coding and things like that, you can actually create stuff like this, web tools. This could be like a good idea for like a web tool to create for either for yourself or for, other people. And here's the weekly breakdown. So this is week 1, day 1, 2, day 3, 4, 5, 7. So it gives you this is the first week. This is the second week here: food consumption and deeper conservation. The focus for this week would be reducing food waste and conscious consumption. And as you can see, it's giving you all the different plans, action plan meals for the week, designate an eat first area in the fridge, try 1 to 2 meatless meals. So it's even including nutrition in this. It's basically telling you like smart consumption, use less stuff that has like less packaging, things like that. This is day 13 and 14, water and energy efficiency. Here's the third week here, day 15 through 17, 18 through 19. And then this is the final week of the plan. So here's the bottom of it: sustainable product alternatives and resources. So it actually followed what I put in the initial prompt here. So it should include the actionable steps, measurement tools, cost saving estimates, and then resources for sustainable product alternatives, which is right here. It's telling you cleaning products, it's giving you personal care, kitchen, and then general. Look for certifications like Fair Trade, B Corp, Energy Star, Water Sense on the back of packages. This is the information. So you can look on these websites to see the different information about like water conservation and energy conservation, things like that. And then this is the final important considerations: progress over perfection, adaptability, local context, and cost savings are estimates. So as you can see with this prompt, it gave me a pretty good sustainable living plan for 30 days. This is going to change obviously depending on where you're located in the world. So it could be a good starting point for some kind of a living plan if that's what you're into. But this was just one of the prompts that I wanted to try out to see what Google Gemini's new 2.5 Pro experimental would give for an answer. And in my opinion, it's given some pretty good answers on the three different prompts that I put in. So I would suggest if you wanted to try some of your own prompts, you could give it a try and then you could see what it gives you. All right, that's going to wrap this one up. If you'd like to try out the prompts, once again, they're going to be linked down in the description. I would suggest tweaking the niche depending on what you want to get for the outcome. You can probably get some pretty decent answers as you saw in the video. The new Google Gemini 2.5 Pro is a pretty decent LLM, and I would say give it a try some different niches out and see what you get. And with that, I will see you in the next video.